Hello everyone, today we are going to make part 1 of our rectangle crochet blanket. This part has been made in half double crochets and I am also using US terminology throughout. If you haven't already, pop back to the last 2 videos. The first one is a 6-part preparation video showing you all the things that you need to do to get ready to start this blanket. And the video after that shows you a crochet hack, a way of figuring out how much yarn you will need for a blanket that has not at this stage been completed. If you haven't seen the last 2 videos, I'll quickly show you how to determine the length of the chain that you need to begin our blanket. I found a blanket that I like the size of. I measured it up, so it was 125 centimeters minus 106 centimeters, which gives me 19 centimeters. Now you can actually do this measurement in inches as well, as long as you remember to measure your chain in inches instead of centimeters. I will pop up a note that tells you that I'm using US terminology for this blanket and also tells you the stitches that I used in this first segment. So familiarize yourself with those. If you don't know how to do them, I will talk you through them as we go. Gather up your materials. You'll need your yarn, corresponding hook. I'm using a 4.5 this time just to see how that one works out. Scissors, darning needle, and this time we will use a stitch marker just once. I will also pop up a video that shows you how to make your slip knot, because the way that you make your slip knot can really matter. How to make the movable slip knot. Now, when we pick up our yarn to make our slip knot, you might pick it up on the left hand and you might wrap the working yarn around your fingers and pull that through. And for all accounts and purposes, it feels like it's a movable slip knot. But for some reason, once the stitches have been made, it doesn't move very well at all. So what you need to do is pick up the yarn end in your right hand and remember to be using the yarn end to wrap around your 2 fingers on the left, drawing that one up. And that is a movable slip knot. So that when you come to places in your work where, say, you've made a standing starting stitch, this slip knot will be hanging out and it'll look quite unsightly. So after you've made the stitch, all you do is tighten it a little bit and it virtually disappears. We'll be using this one a fair bit as we go along. Our first foundation row is a chain. Now you'll either need a ruler or tape measure to ensure that you have the correct measurement. Now we're going to begin with a slip knot. So holding the yarn end in your right hand, wrap the yarn around 2 fingers on the left. Pop your hook in the hole and pull up that loop, and there you have a movable slip knot. Now we're just going to pop the yarn over the hook and pull through the loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, doing this nice and relaxed so that your chain isn't too tight. Measure up your chain, and mine is at 19 centimeters, which is where I need it to be. Now, because we're going to do a single crochet row, we need to add 2 more chains. So I've got 34 stitches. Now I'm going to ask you to make sure that you've got an even number of stitches, not for any other reason than so we can be doing the same thing. Row number 2 is another foundation row. It's a row of single crochets, which gives a lovely stability to your work. Now we're going to work down into the second chain from your hook, not including the one on your hook. we're doing a single crochet. So skip one and work into the top loop of the next. Pop your hook in, yarn over, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Now this is where we need our little stitch marker. It's the smallest little space, but we need to know where it is. So pop that stitch marker in where you've got that extra chain 1 that we just made. Okay, so that will become a corner. Now we're on our way. All we have to do for the rest of this row is a single crochet. Pop your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Not making this too tight. Hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your US terminology, single crochet. Head off now and do a single crochet along the whole chain, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the very last chain. I'm going to pop my hook in and do a single crochet. So now we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. I am going to turn wherever I can throughout this blanket just to maintain a nice centered look. By swapping the sides as much as we can, that helps to keep our rectangle nice and straight. So we've done 2 chains. Now we're going to work into the top of that single crochet where the chain came from. That 2 chain is going to count as a half double crochet. Now we're going to do half double crochets all around. This is round number 1. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook into the top of that single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So there you've got 2 stitches. Now we're going to chain 1 and make a corner. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets into that same space. Yarn over, hook in, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. One more, yarn over, hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. It is getting a little bit crowded in here, but that's a-okay. Chaining 1, we're going to do 2 more half double crochets. So we've got our full corner made. You can see here that our corner is 2 stitches, 1 chain, 3 stitches, 1 chain, and then 2 stitches all into the same space. Now all we do for this round is do half double crochets into the top of each of these single crochets. Now I want you to head along and do half double crochets into the top of every single crochet until we meet up at the end. Now I'm at the last single crochet, so I'll do a half double crochet into there, and we're going to now make that corner into this space where your stitch marker is. So doing 2 half double crochets into that space, 1 and 2, chain 1. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 1, and let's take this stitch marker out and we can pop that away now. That was a very short performance, wasn't it, for the stitch marker? So we've chained 1, and now we're going to do 2 more half double crochets. Now what we do is half double crochets into the chain that we made originally. All right, so yarn over, find that little chain space, pop your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook. You can see the little space if you pull it out a little, okay? It's a bit tricky to find to start, but once you know what you're looking for, you're away. Okay, so half double crochets all the way down this row. Now there is one last little stitch. You'll see it where that slip knot is. So there's a little space here that you need to work into. So do your half double crochet in there. And now I am going to snip off my yarn and change colours. If you're not going to change colours with me, there's two things you can do here. You can pop your hook into the top of that chain 2 that counts as a stitch. You can pull up a loop and pull it through the one on your hook. Then you can start with a chain 2, turn your work and continue half double crochets into the top of each half double crochet below. Okay, we've turned our work again. Now the next option I have for you is to pop your hook into the top of that chain 2 stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over and make a single crochet. Now we're going to do a stacked single crochet to count as a stitch. Pop your hook into the center of that single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to turn our work, yarn over and do half double crochets all the way around. Okay, but I'm going to change colour, so I'll do something different altogether. I've done my last half double crochet here, so I am going to snip off my yarn, pull that yarn through, pop it on a needle. To do the invisible finish, we don't work into the top of that chain 2 that counts as a stitch. We move along and we work into the next stitch on the left. Because the loop that we make, the little V on the top, sits over top of the first stitch. So we're going to send our needle down the center of the last half double crochet that we made. Pull that little stitch so it resembles the V and you'd never know anything had happened. Weave your yarn end in and also at the same time weave in this other one, then we'll be nice and neat and ready to go with a new colour. That's one. I try to break fibres as I go through. And change direction one more time. That's 3. And this is what our work is looking like so far. We've done a foundation chain, a foundation single crochet, and one whole round of half double crochets. So for the rest of this first segment, I'm going to be using half double crochets just in different colours. So our next colour, we will start with a movable slip knot. So yarn end in the right hand, using it to wrap around the left, pulling it up with your hook, yarning over, and we're going to start with a standing half double crochet. We're also going to start in this right hand side corner. So yarn over your hook, pop your hook into the corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now you'll have a little unsightly knot there, but because it's a movable slip knot, you can push that in. Now we'll do another half double crochet here. Now we're going to work into the top of these 3 half double crochets. Into the first, that's 1, 2 and 3. Now we're at the next corner. We're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 1 and 2 half double crochets. Now we are just going to work our way along and do a half double crochet into the top of every half double crochet below. Yarn over, hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. I've worked into the top of each half double crochet, so let's go around the corner together, doing 2 half double crochets into this chain 1 space, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets into that chain 1 space. Now we're going to whiz across the top of these 3 half double crochets. That's 1, 2 and 3. Now 2 more half double crochets into that chain 1 corner, chain 1 and 2 more half double crochets. Now work your half double crochets down the other side. I've worked a half double crochet into the top of every half double crochet below. We've now come to the corner, so we're going to need to do 2 half double crochets in there, chain 1, and this time we are going to slip stitch into the top of the next half double crochet. Okay, so pull a loop through, pull it through the one on your hook. Now we're going to turn our work. We're going to turn our work whenever we can, okay? So with this half double crochet, it's nice and easy to do. So you can either pull up a loop and make stacked single crochets like so, or you can just chain 2. Either way, we need a starting half double crochet. I'm going to do my stacked single crochets, so I'm going to chain 1, slip stitch into the top of that first stitch that we made for the round, pull that loop through the one on my hook. I'm going to turn my work, then I'm going to work back into that chain 1 space, pull up a loop for a single crochet, pull through 2. Put my hook through the center of that single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's going to be considered my first half double crochet. I'm going to do another half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and do 2 more half double crochets. And there we've created another corner. Now all we have to do is go along the sides again, doing half double crochets into the top of the half double crochets below. Now we're up to the next corner. Just do 2 half double crochets in that corner space, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets, working into the top of the half double crochets on that little side. Five and 6 of them. Put my yarn over that way and back to the corner again. So 2 half double crochets, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets. Now at the moment this is sounding also very wordy, but trust me, once we've completed our first section, then we'll be able to get on a roll and I won't have to say as much to you and point things out. So let's go along and do the next side with the half double crochets again. We're back to our corner, chain 1 space, do 2 half double crochets in there, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets, work across this little side area, and we'll meet up here. We need 1 more half double crochet with the corner that I've already made. So because I'm changing colours, I'm going to do the invisible finish right next to the start of that corner. If you're not changing colour, you can slip stitch into the top of that first stitch of the round, slip stitch in the next, and then slip stitch into that chain 1 corner space. You can either do the stacked single crochets to begin the next round, or you can slip stitch in the corner and do 2 chains. Then turn your work and do 1 more half double crochet. Then you will be half double crocheting across the short side. Okay, I'm going to go and cut my yarn, do an invisible finish and change colours. Doing an invisible finish may feel like a lengthy way to end off your round and change colours, but I have just found I don't really like the effect that just doing a slip stitch has on your work. So I just take that extra little bit of time, and there again it looks seamless. You produce that same little top V as the rest of the stitches. And for me, I think that's really worthwhile to have a really beautiful outcome. Okay, we've got our third and last colour for our half double crochet section. Yarn end in your right hand, wrap it around 2 fingers and pull up the loop. We're going to make another standing half double crochet. Let's start over on this corner here. We need to turn our work. Yep, that's it. Now we're on the back side. Yarn over on the hook, pop your hook into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and again another half double crochet, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets. Cinch in that little movable knot, that slip knot. Now working into the short side of our rectangle with half double crochets. That's 8. Now 2 more half double crochets in the corner, chain 1, 2 more half double crochets in that corner. Now working along your long row. I've just done 1 full round of this colour. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that first stitch and slip stitch into the top of the next one and then into the corner space. Again, you can either do 2 chains to start with, or you can do the stacked single crochets, which I'm going to do. So 1 single crochet in there, and I'm going to stack another one on the top. I'm going to turn my work and do another half double crochet into that same corner space. Now I'm going to half double crochet around the whole rectangle and meet you back at the end, because then we're going to do something a little different. Okay, we're on our way. I've done a full round in this colour. Now we're at the chain 1 corner space, back where we started. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets in there, a chain 1, and now we are going to finish off this colour with an invisible finish. If you're not going to change colour, you can chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of the first stitch we made for that round, turning your work over, and now we're going to start something different. But I am going to change colour, so I'm going to chain 1 for my corner. I'm going to snip my yarn off, pull out that loop and do an invisible finish, stitching not over top of the first stitch made but into the second. Now this time we're going to have to go down into the chain that we made. A little bit tricky, but a-okay. Then just work in and out of the stitches behind. This is our very first segment, made up of 2 foundation rows and 5 half double crochet rounds. Now doing this one, I need you to stick with me like glue, because I do flip and change sides, and I also start in different places at certain times when I'm changing colour. I do give you the option and show you what to do if you aren't changing colour. Okay, we actually really need to focus on this one quite a lot. The next segments that come after this will become a whole lot easier. We just need to get this foundation segment number 1 under our belts, and then we'll be a-okay. I've chosen 6 colours, 6, for this blanket, so that I have 3 colours to play with while doing the different stitches, and then in between each segment I'm going to use these. So each segment will be made up of a different stitch, and then in between the segments we're going to do some back post stitching. These rounds in between the segments aren't going to be the same each time either. So for this one, I'm going to start with a back post half double crochet. So choose the side of your work that has the right side on the very last round that you did. Making a slip knot, pop that on your hook. We're going to start in the top left corner. So yarn over your hook, pop it in the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, chain 1. Now only 1 more half double crochet for this one. Now we're going to yarn over, pop our hook around from the back to the front around that stitch, pulling a loop through, then you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Let's do this a few more times. Yarn over, come from the back, work across the front and through to the back again, pulling up a loop and pull it round that stitch, and you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, come from the back across the front into the back again, pulling the loop through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all those loops. Yarn over, back, front and back, pulling a loop through, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. Okay, this is called your back post half double crochet. Yarn over, hook behind, round the front and through to the back, pulling a loop through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. Yarn over, back, front, back, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook. So now we're going to make our way around our rectangle, and we're going to make a nice little border of these half double crochets. I'll show you how to go around the corners using the back post half double crochet. We've got 1 more stitch here. We work around the back and do the half double crochet. All we do now in the corner space is 1 half double crochet, chain 1 and another half double crochet. Then we yarn over and start with our back posting again as we go along. So for these 3 rounds in these brown neutrals, I'm only going to do 1 stitch, chain 1 and 1 more stitch on the corners. Okay? There is a reason for that. I was feeling like The 2-stitch chain 1 2-stitch was starting to become a little too crowded. Now to darn in the yarn tail from the 1st stitch. I do this a special way because I will show you. If you take this stitch across to the other side, it makes it look like a stitch that was meant to be there. If you're going to darn it in back this way, it leaves a gap. Okay, so it's all about recreating the stitches that you think would already be there. And that's how you get your invisible, almost perfect yarn ends darned in. I've got the next colour and I'm making a movable slip knot, popping that on the hook. Yarn over, we're going to start doing half double crochets into this chain 1 corner space. Hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook, chain 1 for the corner, tighten up that little slip knot and do another half double crochet in the corner. Now we're going to start our back post half double crochets. Yarn over, hook around that first half double crochet below, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now we're underway for another round of back post half double crochets. There we go. That's looking good. I like that. I'm at the end of this round and I'm really liking the way it looks. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Do the invisible finish with this colour and do another round of back post half double crochet with this colour. When you've finished a round like this and you've done your yarn ends in, it's always a good habit to get into to change your starting corner. That's another one of those things that helps reduce the slant of your project. All right, slip knot on the hook again. Yarn over, starting in the corner with a half double crochet. Chain 1 and another half double crochet. Cinch in that little slip knot. Well done on finishing part number 1. That is actually the hardest section, so from now on it's nothing but fun. I'm going to see you really soon for part number 2. Would you like a tiny little sneak peek? I know you would. There we go. I'm not giving it all away. It looks really, really nice too. I can't wait for you to see it. Okay, see you then. Bye everyone.